Welcome to the Mike and Brad Show. I'm Brad.
And I'm Mike.
We have a very special wrestling edition of the Mike and Brad Show. If you watched last week, you'll know we've been asking fans to give us what they think would be the best wrestling name for Mike Murray. We had a lot of entries. Today we're going to pick a winner. One winner will win a Brad Pierce muscle shirt. And in honor of muscles, we're wearing our favorite Hulk Hogan shirts. As you can tell, Mike and I are both very similar in build to Hulk Hogan himself. Hulk Hogan's
a lot of people get us mixed up.
Yeah. When they see Mike, they're like, Hulk Hogan looks a little shorter in person.
Yes.
It's crazy to me that he's like 70 and he's way more jacked than us. He's like 70 years old.
Yeah.
I'm going to be dead at 70. That guy's still
definitely. I think I could take him, though. I think I could take him.
So in honor of Hulk Hogan, I've surprised with Mike with some Hulk Hogan Real American beer, baby.
Did you grab these at the Thirsty
Cheers.
Beaver?
I did not. I grabbed them at a local liquor store, got them out of the fridge. They're nice and cold.
Oh, man, that's horrible.
That tastes like freedom. Is what that tastes like. That tastes like
it tastes
America.
It tastes like freedom and a body slam. Holy mackerel. Wow.
So Mike doesn't really drink alcohol much, so he might get drunk off that one beer. And it's mixing it with coffee, so he could end up with diarrhea. So let's just launch right into it with the big contest that we're gonna announce who wins. And Mike, so you're gonna be the judge. We had our viewers submit what they thought would be the best wrestling name for Mike Murray. And you are the judge, and when you're going to pick the winner, and we will send them a Brad Pierce muscle shirt.
It's the first time I'm seeing these or hearing them, so yeah, I'll do my best. Hopefully they're all good ones. Hopefully we got some smart people out there.
Okay, we'll start with our good friend Amy Schwab. Amy Schwab said the Murrinator, much like the Terminator. Not the greatest name, but her finishing moves. She suggested a finishing move, which is pretty impressive. I did think it's a pretty intense and almost over-the-top finishing move. The finishing move, not too subtly named, is the hot coffee.
The hot coffee?
Yeah, you literally just dump a hot coffee in your opponent's face, which I think is meaner than body slamming them.
Well, move on to the next one. That was pretty bad.
Nellie, who I don't remember her last name, but I know she likes the Dolphins, called you the rolling stud, which is almost like a compliment mixed with an insult. So she's calling you a stud, but you're also rolling at your opponent.
I'll take the compliment. Thank you. Thank you, Nelly.
And Tyler.
So right away, she's in first place with the name.
Okay. Just because someone finally called you a stud. Tyler, the Torch, who's a competitive grappler from Gary's gym, he wanted to call you the last samurai, which is actually a nice term. I don't understand what the finishing move is, but I'll tell you, and you tell me what you think you're doing to your opponent.
Okay.
He calls it the 450 frog smash.
I'm guessing 450 would be my weight. That's what he's thinking.
You said it, not me. I was thinking 450.
And the frog smash is probably like where I'm in the air like a frog and I come down and crush my opponent.
That's a good.
That's not bad.
That's a
good. What was my
move.
finishing move with Nelly?
She didn't give one.
Oh, she just gave the name.
No, not everybody gave a finishing move.
Okay.
John Allen calls you the chuckling chunk, and your finishing move is the silent belly buster. Okay. Vin the Bull, of course, he submitted one, even though he can't win because he produced the shirts. He wanted to call you the Malaysian Missile Murray.
Why Malaysia?
I guess Vin.
What part of me
Vin
gives it away? Like, I don't know if he's Irish or Malaysian.
It's one or the other. It's a coin flip.
It's a toss-up, folks. Malaysian. How did he land on Malaysia?
I guess Vin's eyes are as bad as your ears. And his finishing move suggestion, which is really nice, his finishing move was the Macarena Massacre. So I guess you Macarena them to death? Do you know what the Macarena
Like
is?
hand on the hips, like, you know.
Yeah, it's like a little dance, and you're like, bah, bah, bah. I'm doing the chicken dance. How
I
the
used
fuck
to
was
really
that?
like
the
Vinny.
Macarena is like 1, 2, little 3, little. How do you do it?
Nah, I used to like
Sean, we have a very guest producer, Sean, a very special guest, Sean, my cousin,
Hey, Sean,
is here.
is it Sean with S H or is it S-E? Because everybody gets mixed up.
It's SH the right way.
It's S-H. See, I told you. It was
A-W-N.
He's filling in for Tom, who is too good for us to be here today.
Yeah, Tom is easy. T-O-M every time, no matter how you do it. Right? It's never T-A-W-N.
Tom showed up to my trivia gig high as a kite last night with his girlfriend, and I guess that's not why he's here today, because he's on another planet.
He's in jail.
Finally. And we have 3 more. We also have Debbie DiBiasio.
Okay, she's a comedian.
Wants to call you the electric killer, and you shoot electric bolts out of your cochlear implants.
Which is very dangerous to any opponent, so I think she's up there. If you
Okay.
take the rolling stud and we do a mashup, the rolling stud with the electric bolts.
And then Neil Perone, in his true insulting self, called you just fat ass, but he spelled it with a PH.
Oh.
And then Jeff Pierce, my brother Jeff Pierce, called you deaf leopard, but he spells it D-E-A-F. I like that one a lot, but he didn't put a finishing.
No finishing move?
No finishing move for
It
Jeff.
should have been something with like
Def Leppard's
just
good.
one drumstick would have been funny.
That would have been awesome.
Right? See, now Jeff's supposed to be a comedian.
He's half-assing it.
He really, you know. So I'm pretty disappointed in all of them, especially Amy Schwab, because she put like 6 of them out and none of them landed.
I picked what I thought was her best ones.
Huh? Yeah.
I picked what I thought was her best one. You can't have more than one submission.
Yeah. So, but we have to pick a winner.
Yeah, you do. You're the judge.
And how many shirts are we talking? How many people?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do, Brad.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it, not you. All the people that submitted, we will give a Brad Pierce comedian T-shirt too on me, a gift to you for
Wow, you're a very generous guy.
very generous. So Vinny, if you're out there listening, Vinny doesn't get one, and his was horrible anyways.
He could just make himself
It
one
didn't
on the
make any sense. So, but Vinny's gonna be making them. So if you did put in for these, inbox Brad with your size shirt, and we'll get them to you as soon as we can.
What a generous guy. So congratulations to all of you. I thought the Macarena Massacre was amazing. Nobody has said what my wrestling name, what do you think my wrestling name would be?
I think your wrestling name for Brad Pierce would be the Depressionator. The Depressionator.
I just make him sad.
The Depressionator, and your finishing move is you just stand over them and say, and just be your negative self. Like, I drove all the way over here. I can't believe this match didn't start like until 15 minutes after it was supposed to start. Oh, I gotta feed my cats.
So
It was raining, my Jeep roof was off, and you just keep depressing them until they kill themselves and
they
the match is
eventually
over.
tap out because they can't handle it anymore.
That's it.
That's not bad. The Depressionator?
Get on those shirts, Vinny.
Brad, the Depressionator. Yes, I'm just going to join the WWE
You
from
show
tomorrow.
up, and how it works is you come out to the stage. I guess it's a bunch of people carrying like a couch, and like on a
They
shrink's couch.
You lay down and I make you miserable. So now look, a lot of times when I ask you about any kind of like old music or old movies, you always say the same thing. Brad, I was deaf. I didn't watch anything. They didn't have subtitles, blah, blah, blah. The reason I bring that up is because I wanted to ask you is in the 80s, did you ever watch professional wrestling?
Of course.
Oh, okay. Because I want to say...
It's not that I didn't watch it, to clarify. It's not that I didn't watch anything. But I watched everything, but I couldn't follow it.
Okay.
I would follow it as best
Wrestling's
I can.
easy to follow.
Yeah, it was easy. My best thing about wrestling now is all the TikToks that come out saying, if wrestling's fake, explain this.
Oh, and it's something crazy.
Those are the best ones. Like, the guy with the snake, his hand comes up and he's like, stuff like that just drives me nuts. But I could follow certain things. Like Welcome Back, Carter was one of my favorite shows. But when I watch it now, at least I can read, follow the whole script. Back then, I kind of pieced it together, and you could almost piece it all together. Plus, I had my brothers and sisters to help me out along the way.
So the reason I ask is because on the top, before we move on the topic of wrestling finishing moves, and obviously it's Hulk Hogan Day here on the Mike and Brad Show. Hulk Hogan was always my favorite. I had the action figures, I had the thumb wrestlers where you put your thumb up Hulk Hogan's butt and Iron Sheik's butt and you make them wrestle. I was obsessed. I loved Hulk Hogan. But I will say this. His finishing move was terrible. I don't know if you remember the big leg. Do you remember the big leg?
No.
All right,
Like
that's why I asked.
he would come off the rope and his leg would go in the end.
He'd come off the rope, and literally he would
Like,
drop just his
Sean,
leg.
come over here and lay on the floor. and
He pretend this is the opponent. This is Sean.
yeah.
He would come and just his leg
Yeah.
would land on the guy. But like literally, if you just jump and sat on the guy, it would hurt him. You're just putting just the weight of your leg on him.
And throughout the whole match, way more dangerous moves.
Every
like,
movie,
like,
every
like coming
single
across
move.
the ring with a clothesline where your neck is shaking off. But no, a little thick thigh is going to end the guy.
Thick thigh. I never even understood what was supposed to be
My
happening.
big leg would be a good finishing move too.
Yes. But
Way better than the frog.
no, the
450
frog smash would do a lot more damage than one of your legs. I never understood that move. Sorry, Hulk Hogan, if you're watching it. You were my favorite. I never understood that move, but whatever. Shout out to Hulk Hogan and Nick Hogan, our good friends down in Clearwater, Florida. All right, we're going to move on. That was the wrestling segment, but we will continue to have real American beer for America, baby.
Did you buy these at Thirsty Beaver?
No, Haxton's up on Route 2. They are not sponsors of the show.
What is your take on the taste of this?
It tastes like America. We forgot to mention, shout out to Brewed Awakenings for letting us film today. I didn't get a coffee only because the mix of light beer and coffee is not going to be great for anybody. But shout out to Brewed. Thanks for letting us use the room. Look, there's a lot going on in the world today. I want to point out, I don't know if you've noticed this, right? A couple weeks ago, I started our sports segment by saying nobody in America cares about the Olympics, and you said, well, your wife watches the Olympics. I said, that's one person. If you've noticed, since we mentioned that, everyone's talking about the Olympics. So I want to
watching it.
I want to say people are talking about the Olympics because of us. We made it. It's nothing else. It had nothing to
We
do
should
with
be on the Olympic committee.
it had nothing to do with the painting or anything. It was because we mentioned it. All of a sudden, everyone's talking about the Olympics. Because it's a popular show we're running here.
We were trending. We were trending. Mike Brad hates the Olympics was trending, and everybody wanted to go see what the story was about, and now they're watching ping pong.
We mentioned one mentioned the Olympics on this show, and the whole world's talking about it. You love it, you hate it. Anyways, I have been watching a little bit, again, I told you before, I like a couple sports, like I like basketball. I finally found a basketball game. It was on at like 1 in the morning. I fell asleep, but I saw 5 minutes of America beating the crap out of some other country, and I enjoyed that. It's weird to me that they have 3-on-3 basketball now. Did you know that?
I think they're
What is
running out of
that?
ideas.
Seriously.
It's almost like a sitcom. It's like like they're running out of ideas. Where are they getting all these sports from? I was watching a sport the other day, and it looked like a cross between soccer, lacrosse, scatter, and hockey. And it was just, they were
What was
running
it
around
called?
throwing the ball into a net with
Yeah, I
their
think
hands.
that's handball, isn't it?
Yeah, but handball was always one person against the wall, like two people.
That's
That's
racquetball.
handball. No,
No.
handball. A
There
little
is
ball
so
with your
many
hand.
dumb sports
Yeah.
on the Olympics. It's mind-blowing. They have this equestrian thing where horses are jumping over fences. I was watching fencing. I stopped at fencing the other day, and I was like, okay, maybe fencing's cool, because I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan. He implemented a lot of principles from fencing in his martial arts. You can't see at all in fencing. There's no way the judges know what happened.
No.
Like they literally, it's just a blur. It's like beep, and they stop it, and they're like pointing. You're like, what
I'm
just
going to
happened?
teach you some knowledge now.
Okay.
It's because at the end of that sword, it's an
Yeah.
electric thing. they have like a computer generator that shows that they actually get the point.
Well, isn't that great for the audience who can't tell a damn thing that's going on?
It's like hockey sometimes. You can't see the puck.
It's way worse than hockey. Way worse.
It's the same thing.
I kept watching. I'm like, all right, who got it? And they're like, oh, all right, the Korean guy. I'm like, sure, the Korean guy.
I think they should take that little electric thing away from it, right? And take the vests off them, and whoever dies,
now
the other guy's the winner.
Olympic fencing would be way cooler if it was to the death, is what Mike said. It's the least you can do. And while you're at it, handball to the death.
I don't understand the handball thing because there's so many sports. It's become the AGT, America's Got Talent of sports, where they allow these stupid things in when something more talented is left behind. Yeah. So on America's Got Talent, you'll watch the auditions, you'll see some crazy auditions that make no sense at all. And I get mad, because I know there's a million people that audition that was way more talented, and I get it, it's about ratings and stuff like that. But the handball, I think it's like, it's just things like that shouldn't be there. It's just stick to the basics.
Is this a bitterness because you auditioned for America's Got Talent before and didn't make it?
Well, I made it all the way to where to put me in front of the producers. I made it to where they called my house and everything. So, and then they ghosted me.
This is like my Sam Adams story, which I'm disgusted that we still allow the Sam Adams sign to be in the back. Yeah. For those who haven't been watching the show, I auditioned for Sam Adams, thought I got the Your Cousin from Boston, didn't get it. I auditioned for a Ocean Spray commercial. I got 2 callbacks. He also auditioned. We did not get the cranberry juice commercial, which is out now. And I forgot to tell you and so Mike didn't make it to America's Got Talent. He was this close. On the topic of me failing on my dreams. Recently, I got an email from Boston Casting, and it said, hey, we have on our files that you have a Jeep. And I was like, wow, I do have a Jeep. I was like, I can't afford it, but I have one. And I'm like, I knew I bought this Jeep for a reason. They're like, we actually need a Jeep. We're shooting something locally. Can you send us a picture of your Jeep and tell us if you still have a Jeep? I was excited. I ran out. I took some nice pictures of my Jeep outside with the sun glistening off it. And I'm like, look, if I'm not going to make it famous, I'm not going to be in any commercials or any big movies, at least my Jeep can be famous. They ghosted me. Nothing.
Not even your Jeep.
Not even my Jeep.
Now here's the thing, and you pay like $7,000 a month for that thing. Now here's the other thing. Now, so I'll teach the audience a little something about acting and everything.
Every
month.
You
talk about the files. When they're files, not only do they have your height, your weight, and all that stuff, and pictures of you with a beard, mustache, and all, bald, everything, but they also ask you what kind of car you drive and what kind of pets you have, because it can make it in there also, and that's why you got the call on the Jeep.
That's right.
And a lot like Pulp Fiction. I mean, not Pulp Fiction. Reservoir Dogs. Tarantino's first movie, which I thought was an amazing movie. That car was Michael Madsen's car. Michael Madsen was he had his career come back. That was actually his car, and a lot of people in that movie did all their own stuff. It's like Frank Santella wore his own wardrobe and did his own stuff.
Well, it saves
and
money.
Got more money. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So it's something like that. Whenever you see cars in any TV show, movies, those are usually cars of the actors.
Yes, the Knight Rider car was actually Mike Murray's. He had it in Johnston, and they
the
borrowed
DeLorean.
it. No, the DeLorean was from Back to the Future.
Yeah, but that was my car too.
Oh yeah.
In the Batmobile.
You know those never run. Like the DeLorean's like the shittiest car in the world. They never run.
It's beautiful, and they're not a good car.
Yeah, Seinfeld had one on an episode of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. And like 5 minutes in, it broke down on the side of the road. Even Seinfeld, with his billions of dollars, cannot get a DeLorean that can drive more than a half mile up the road without breaking down. He
has like a million, how you say it, Porsche or Porsche?
Porsche. You could say it either. Some people say Porsche. Let's ask Sean, our producer. He's here for information.
Sean.
Is it Porsche or Porsche?
It's Porsche.
Porsche.
Even though there's no A.
So then where'd the A come from?
I don't know, but the correct pronunciation is Porsche.
It's Porsche.
All right, our guy who's smarter than Tom said that it's Porsche. Now, some words have a silent letter. This has an invisible letter. It's an A that's literally not in the word.
To a deaf person, silent letters are the worst. They're the worst. They should not be there. But anyways, talking about the Seinfeld and his cars, he's a huge Porsche fan. Everybody knows that. He actually has like a warehouse in New York City that houses all his Porsches, like classic cars, millions and millions
What
of
a
dollars.
dick.
But Gary Gulman, who you're a big fan of, and I'm a big fan of, Gary Gulman was actually on a late night show talking about that, saying how Jerry Seinfeld has all this room like for a warehouse for all his cars in Manhattan. He says, meanwhile, me and my wife, we can't keep our toaster on the counter.
I saw that
It's a great
video.
comparison.
I saw that
Yeah,
video.
and it wasn't even 4 slice, it was a 2 slice. He had to put it away. And I was like, Gary Gulman is just amazing. Look him up. He's absolutely funny.
He's
to me.
incredible. I think he would hate me based on his anti-crowd work video I saw recently.
Yeah.
And I've heard mixed feelings from comedians I know that have worked with him.
Yeah.
So I would love to meet him. He's actually performing soon in East Greenwich, I heard, at the Odeon. So Gary, if you're watching, hire me to open for you. Just don't get mad at me for doing crowd work. My friend Jeff Cody has a Porsche, all right? And I had never been in a Porsche. He has a beautiful Porsche. I don't know anything about it because I don't know shit about cars. But I was like, wow, that's really cool. Let me check it out. I got in the car. And I'm like, can you put the seat back? He goes, oh, it's as far back as it can. I was literally like this. I was like, dude, I can't drive.
You're like a fetus.
I can't drive this car. So sometimes it pays to not be wealthy because I'm broke and I can't get a Porsche. So I guess I won. I wanted to talk a little bit about local apocalyptic news. I don't know if you've been following local news. I know Mike is a big hater of beaches. He does not like the beach. And here's an extra reason for Mike not to like the beach. I don't know if you saw the people that were attacked by swarms of dragonflies.
I did see that.
The other
down
day.
in Misquamicut.
Can you imagine? Because Mike said he goes to the beach once a year with his wife to please her.
Imagine
Can
that
you imagine
being
that
the
was
day.
the day? What would you have done?
Unbelievable. Dragonflies, believe it or not, Brad, are very harmless, and they're actually good because they eat like 10 times their body weight in mosquitoes. So they're welcome to my yard.
So you would have been happy about it,
I
is
would
what
have
you're
been-
saying. You'd have been
yeah.
like, look at all these dragonflies. As they're flying on your head, they're flying into your eardrum.
The sight of all those millions and billions and billions of dragonflies would have been the reason why we turned around and didn't have to go to the beach.
Yeah,
So
but what if you're already
it would have
sitting
been
there?
awesome.
You're on your towel, you got your umbrella.
And that happened, oh man.
What is your
It was like
reaction?
end of days. The
I
videos
would-
were like,
As Mike stated earlier, I'm a very negative guy. I would have absolutely been like, well, this is it. This is the end of the world, right here. This is how we go. We all get killed by dragonflies, and we die a slow death on Misquamicut Beach. And that would have been my attitude. I don't know if I would have ran for the water to like go under the water, or I would have ran to the car. I think I just would have ran in circles screaming like a little girl. I don't know what I would have done, but it would have freaked me the hell out. That's
and
for
the
sure.
noise was incredible. Have you watched any of the tapes with the volume on it? It's like, it was just absolutely end of world type
Yeah,
stuff.
I would have had a heart attack and I would have died, even though they were harmless, because I didn't know they were harmless. Mike has a lot of information about insects, apparently.
There's an insect out there, I don't know how you pronounce it, cinceta, whatever. It's like a,
Is it cicada? Thank God Sean's here.
and what
Cicada?
they do is,
that it?
what they do is like, and see, Sean is knowledgeable.
Thank God. We're going to fire Tom. Sean knows insects.
forget the hairy guy.
Cicada? You sure about this?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
that's exactly what it is.
All right, so what is
and
it?
what they do, Brad, I don't know if you know, they kind of burrow themselves in the ground and they make an appearance like 4 years later, right? It's like many years. They're just hibernating and then all at the same time they just like come up and then they just go through cities and towns and just eat everything in sight. It's nuts.
Are you sure this isn't like some kind of Japanese horror movie you watched?
This
What do
is
you
a
mean
real
they
thing.
eat through cities?
It's a real
it's
thing.
like Godzilla? What do you
People get the hell out of town when they know they're coming up and it's almost like clockwork, like 4 years, 4 years. I'm not even
Give
exaggerating.
me an example of a city this happening. Woonsocket? Where did this happen? That you?
It happens, I think, out more in the Midwest areas, you know.
Actually, just recently, the beginning of this year, somewhere down in Texas.
In
Yeah.
Texas?
Somewhere in like the Midwest, southern states
Yeah.
or whatever, there was 3 different species of cicadas that were buried underground.
Okay, they hide under the ground.
Yeah,
For like
3
years.
Okay, and they wait to attack.
Yeah, there's like billions of them. I'm not exactly.
So when they come up to the town, do they swarm around like those dragonflies? And do they eat your flesh and stuff? What do they do to you? They
They
sting
eat
you?
the trees, they eat the leaves,
They
eat
don't-
the,
but they don't eat the people?
all the vegetation, and they mate. It's just a
They're
big
just
game.
flying
They're
around
just
having
banging
sex.
everybody. Yeah.
It's like Mike Murray on a Tuesday night, just flying around town having orgies and zipping through trees and shit. But do they do they attack
They
us?
don't attack people. No.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's just
Let
a
them have-
nuisance.
They just want to party. They've been sleeping for 3
Yeah.
years. Let them have some sex.
And there's an island, I don't know where there's an island out there where there's little red crabs and there's millions and millions and millions of
Use protection.
like always make these. Yes. We got a lot of watches out there that have crabs.
We are on quite the topic. Yeah, that's true. The average Mike and Brad fan has at least 5 STDs. On the topic of crazy apocalyptic creatures and stuff, also locally recently in the news, off the coast of New Hampshire, did you see the whale
I did see
jump
that.
on a boat? Now, I am A, scared of the ocean, B, a terrible swimmer. Terrible. So
The guy was thrown right from his boat and everything.
we're on the boat. Let's say we're shooting an episode of the Mike and Brad show on the seas. Okay, Sean's there. He's telling us about
On Tom Brady's boat.
yeah. We're on Tom Brady's, but Sean's there telling us about cicadas, deadly cicadas, and then boom, a whale jumps, knocks us off. We're capsized. What's your reaction there?
It sounds like a job for the depressionator. I think Brad needs to talk with that whale.
Dude, I'd give him a piece of my mind.
Yeah, and you know, I went whale watching with Brad once out on the West Coast. We went to Washington, and now I don't know if you noticed, people. We're learning a lot today together.
We are.
Out on the West Coast, like, see over here, we'll have like the blue whales and stuff like that. But when you go out west, you have killer whales. You have the orcas and everything, which is
Which we
actually the
saw.
largest member of the dolphin family. I don't know if you know that.
I did not know. What
See?
an informative show we have
That's
today.
it. Dolphins seem so fun and everything. A killer whale, but see, we saw 1,000,000 killer whales that day, and we did see a couple giant whales, like great whales and everything like that. And
I'll have you know, it was one of the worst days of my life.
he cried the entire time we were
seasick.
on that boat.
I don't like boats. I don't mess with boats. I was seasick for 4 straight hours. By the time we saw the killer whales, which are beautiful, I didn't give a shit. I was like, screw those whales. I gotta go home. I'm gonna puke everywhere. It was the worst day ever.
It was like
if I
one
wanna
of
see
his
killer-
wrestling matches.
If I'm gonna watch killer whales, I'll watch them on YouTube. Screw that shit. But we did see some killer whales.
I did take a nice picture with my phone of a couple killer whales breached in the water, and it's actually, and Bill Simons has one up on his house. I gave it to him as a gift.
So if you get seasick, don't go on a whale watch. But if you don't, go and enjoy it and see some killer whales. But back to the original question, you're on a boat, we're shooting the show, whale knocks you, crashes in. What is your reaction? Are you a good swimmer?
I could swim. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could swim.
I'm gonna hop on your back because I'm a terrible swimmer.
I could swim. I grew up in the Orneville Boys Club, so we were always swimmers, and
One of the, that's
but
for those who
again,
can't afford
I'm
YMCA.
afraid, I'm intimidated by the ocean, and I try to limit my times of going out on the ocean because it's such a big place and such a scary place. And then you see something like that come out of the water and knock your boat out, and nah,
So
not
now,
for me. No,
his
thank
wife,
you.
His wife makes him go to the beach once a year, and he already a few weeks ago on the show said why he didn't like it. He didn't like the sand and everything. Now he knows if he goes in the water, a whale could crush him, dragonflies could attack him, and sharks, which there were multiple sharks just spotted off of Cape Cod also. So here are more reasons for you not to go to the beach this summer.
Then to go. Get a
We're here to
pool.
help. Get a pool.
I have a pool. That's what I love.
Put on your Hulk Hogan muscle shirt, flex for your neighbors. You don't need to go to the beach. That's it. We're teaching people. A friend of mine he was the one that told me about the whale, and then I looked it up. My friend Justin asked me to ask you, if you were to either get eaten alive by a shark out of Cape Cod, or be crushed by the whale, like the whale jumps up on the boat and just crushes every bone in your body, which way would you
The
prefer?
whale, definitely.
The whale?
Yeah, the whale, definitely.
Less teeth involved.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's probably like a weighted blanket, maybe a little. You just kind of go to sleep. You know what I mean?
A weighted blanket.
What's gonna happen? My head's not gonna pop off.
Weighted-
It's just gonna like suffocate me like a weighted blanket, and that's it. I'll be done.
Oh.
It's way better than a million teeth going into my torso and like flipping me around in the ocean.
Do you what's with the weighted blanket phenomenon? Is that for people with anxiety or something?
Yes.
All right. So
yeah.
So if you're suffering,
Amy Schwab, who put in one of the things, she's a big fan of the weighted blanket.
okay, Amy, if you're really suffering with anxiety, I think your best bet. Take your boat out to New Hampshire and wait for a whale to jump on you, because that will crush all the anxiety and stress and
Listen.
worries in your body.
If you have anxiety, it's very simple. Go to Brad's show and watch his set. And the Depressionator will make you feel so great about your life. No matter how bad it is, you'll be like, I'm not glad I'm not that guy.
I'm a demotivational speaker and what's unmotivational speaker? What would the term be
What would
for that?
the term be?
Sean, would I be called a demotivational speaker or an unmotivational
What would we
speaker?
call him? Like motivational speaker, but then there's Brad, so that would be...
What's the opposite of a motivational speaker? Damn it, Sean, you were on such a roll. He just drew a blank. He's fired. We're gonna bring Tom back next week.
Tom would have had an answer.
Tom definitely would have had an answer. All right, before we wrap up, every week on the show we have a taste test.
Oh, I thought that was it.
No, this was just to promote my man Hulk Hogan and my buddy Nick Hogan, and on the theme of wrestling, we talked about wrestling moves. I said, why not have a jacked American beer? So listen, we're gonna get into the taste test. I went real simple today because I was focused on the beers and the wrestling, but I wanted to bring something for Mike to taste. I've never compared these two items. I'm sure Mike has had both, but hasn't compared them. So we're gonna get into it. Everyone's favorite time of the show is the taste test, everybody, the taste contest, if you will.
Oh, God.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Yes, it's
Nope.
Pringles, and then after years and years of Pringles being around, Pringles were around a long time.
Yes, you are. And they're actually not potato chips. And
They're
it
tennis
does not
balls.
say, it does not even, I'm going to tell just by looking at it, it doesn't say potato chips anywhere on there. And they couldn't do it because it's not, it's actually like, crisp.
You're correct. I was just going to ask, what is it called? It's a potato crisp. So why
know
are
a
they
lot
not?
of people.
Why are they not legally allowed to call themselves a chip?
Because it's not, it's a form, it's not a potato. Potato chip would be an actual potato where they slice it and it's a form of potato. This is not, it's a manufactured processed food.
all this shit is
that
manufactured.
masquerades as a potato chip.
Isn't that the same with all the chips at the
No,
store?
all potato chips that you have in Lay's are actually potatoes.
How about these?
See, those are crisp also, because they're in that shape and they're stackable. So that
You're right.
tells you right away it's
So for years of Pringles making fake chips and putting them in tennis ball cans, Lay's, I don't know how many years ago, decided we're going to copy it. Now Lay's already had a successful thing going.
Lay's didn't
But they
need
decided
have
to copy
jump
them.
at that. But people, why they like this is because they say unbroken in here.
Ah.
And the guy who founded Pringles, he was buried with a Pringles shaped can.
His ashes were buried in a Pringles
Yeah,
can.
that's correct.
All right, if I ever write a will.
Look it up.
If I ever write a will, I'm going to put my ashes in a Pringles
What do you
can.
think? Yeah, what would you want to be buried in?
I don't know, maybe an iced coffee cup. I like iced coffee a lot. I think that would be cool.
And you know what?
An Adidas shoe.
As a cool twist, I'm gonna make it a honeydew cup.
Shout out to Honeydew Donuts who commented on our video last week. Maybe like an Adidas sneaker would be cool. Just pour me in one of these and then just maybe cover
They
the
have
top
them.
with duct tape. I don't know. What would you put your ashes in? McDonald's French fry bag.
Probably a bucket of chicken.
All right, so we're gonna do the Pringles versus Lay's bootleg Pringles. Mike already made a lot of noise about being very against this.
Here's the thing. I don't like flavored anything potato chips.
Oh, for God's
The only
sakes.
flavored chips I like are Doritos. But when it comes to Pringles, Lay's, and all that, regular OG style. Because see, this chip, Brad,
Yeah.
you can't tell what flavor it is by looking at it.
part of
So
the
when I
fun,
look
Mike.
at it, I think, ooh, a Pringle. So my brain's getting ready for that Pringle taste. and then I bite into it, and nope, it tastes like pizza. If I want something that tastes like pizza, I'll get a pizza.
But Mike, how often do you see a Pringle outside the can? Just look at the can. That should give it away. Where are you finding Pringles
When you go
outside
to
of
a
a
party.
Pringle can? Who lays out Pringles on the
They pour them in
spread?
the thing. They pour them in the thing. You'll get sour cream and onion. You'll get all kind salt and vinegar. Salt and vinegar. I'll set your house on fire.
I hate salt
If I
and
grab a Lay's and it looks like a Lay's, I eat it and it's a salt and vinegar, I'm setting your couch on fire.
I like the parties Mike's going to, where the buffet table, it's like meatballs, pasta, salad, chicken wings, and then just a bunch of Pringles mixed in a pile.
Keep them guessing.
All right. So you had, well, for the sake of not having to
Yeah.
listen to us chew, which is atrocious, we'll just eat one and one. So you're flying right through this. Mike skipped lunch. All right, here we go.
All right, right away from appearance Pringles all the way. This is just a little too fake looking. Take one of those out.
All right,
But
compare the
side by
visuals.
side.
I'm not big on. I
Yeah.
don't really care what it looks like. It is smaller though, right? It's similar.
It's just a little more fake looking.
Yeah, it's a little smaller, less of a curve to it. If you're into curvy, fake potato chips. All right, so I'm pretty sure they changed the flavor of Pringles back in the early 2000s because I swear I remember them tasting
It's
better.
been going
when I
on
was
for a
kid.
while. It's the same thing with Oreos. Why all the flavors? OGs is the way to go.
I actually prefer the golden Oreo. I prefer that.
I do like the golden.
All right. Huh?
Make that three.
Three what?
Golden Oreos.
There's 3 different golden Oreos?
No, I said make it 3.
Oh, Sean also loves the golden Oreo. All right. I had my
you know
Pringle.
what?
I don't even remember what these tasted like. I don't know if I've ever even had these. So here
I
we
like
go.
the Lay's. I love Pringles, but I think the Lay's sour cream and onion is better than the
Whoa,
Pringles.
that's a tough one.
What?
The Lay's is thicker. Do you know it's thicker? It's got more girth.
Me too. It's a family show, Brad.
No one in the history of tasting potato chips has used the adjective girth.
How'd that ever make it in there? We gotta tell the story. I know we don't have much time.
All right,
but
we
I
don't
think
have much time.
I think we should tell a story because it's a very funny
Are
story.
we going to agree on the Lay's stacks?
I like
It's
them
close
because
for me.
there was more bang for the buck. It was thicker. I thought it tasted better, but again, if I had to, I would get those over them. These guys have been around since day one too,
Yeah.
by the way. If
I like how it says bring the fun with you. So carry this with you to make sure you can get diabetes and clogged arteries on the go. Yeah, all right, well, there we go. The winner, I guess, today is Lay's Stacks, the bootleg Pringle. Once again, the underdog has won here on the Mike and Brad show.
I think
Congratulations to Lay's.
On the topic of food and potlucks and everything, I think I don't think we ever mentioned it, talked about it on the Mike and Brad show, but I think it's worth mentioning. That me and Brad had like this inside joke, like like a contest, that if we were ever gonna be on a live episode of something where it was live,
Oh, yes.
or even a news story in a paper or whatever, that we would have to say the word potato salad.
That's correct.
The word potato salad somehow fit in that interview, and Brad's been on multiple.
I blow it every single time. Mike kills it. He keeps doing it. I was on, so the week we had it, I was being interviewed for the Comedy Bus on local news channel. I think it was 6. And Mike was doing the road show. And we were like, all right, here's the agreement. We're both going to do it. Now, when I did the interview for the Comedy Bus for the local news, I kept saying potato salad. I said potato salad every topic, to the point where the owner of the bus, when we wrapped up, was like, dude, why'd you keep talking about potato salad? But then when the guy edited it, the guy from the news edited the piece, the
All
field
gone.
piece, removed every mention of potato salad, which I can't imagine why he would do such a thing.
And like not even a week later, I was on the road show and I got potato salad right in there at the end of mine, and I worked it into a story. And then I was on the road show not long after that, maybe 2 months later, and I think you had another opportunity to do it,
Which
but
I
you-
blew.
and you totally forgot to do it.
With Mario
And then
Hilario.
yeah, and then I ended up getting it in there again, potato salad.
Mike's up 2-0.
And I'm up 2-0, so if you ever see me post that I'm gonna be live somewhere, keep your eyes out for potato
And
salad.
if you're ever in the news yourself, play along. Mention potato salad. It makes no sense, but it's a fun game. I don't know where we are time-wise. Does it say where we are time-wise on there?
39 minutes.
Oh, we gotta go. That's way too long. All right,
This
listen.
is like an extended version. This is like, you know,
covered.
like when they had the movies, they extended the director's cut.
Director's cut. Thanks for watching. It's been a fun show. Shout out to Hogan and his Real American Beer, and to Brewed Awakenings for
Send
hosting
those
us.
sizes in for the t-shirts and we'll get Vinny on it.
Yep. Thank you very much. Oh, wait, before you go, I think you should this week comment what you think Mike and I's tag team wrestling name would be. Like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, they teamed up at
Yeah.
one point. They were called the Mega Powers. What would Mike and I's wrestling tag team name be? Thanks for watching.